Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are reviewing the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 11 premiere episode. Child, listen. I think this is going to make for a really interesting season, okay? Because I looked at the previews for the season and I'm like, baby, Garcelle is staying on Rena's neck. Do y'all hear me? I'm not quite sure how I feel about Crystal as of yet. And I feel like Kathy should be in like a museum or something. Child, let's move forward, honey. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So Lisa Rinna shows up to Kyle's house, right? So Kyle is in bed with her Marsha nose, okay? Because she said that something hit her in her nose and broke her nose. Girl, just say you wanted a little something, a little touch up, a little nose job, honey. Get into it if you're gonna get into it, okay? This reminded me so much of that episode where Marsha got hit in the nose with the football. And I was just thinking when she told that whole story, Marsha, my nose. I will never forget that episode, child. Anyway, so Kyle claimed something hit her in the nose, so she decided to make it cuter. Okay, girl, it looks cute though, but I'm just saying, child. Over with Dorit, her and Erica are riding with the top down, honey. Erica said, lawsuit where, honey? Divorce who? Child, she acting like it ain't even happening, okay? So they talk about how nice it was spending time with family due to COVID. So Erica Jane said, it's nice to talk to Tom. We sit down, we eat dinner every night. It's just really nice. Interesting. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Honey, y'all can put down in the comments below what you think I think is interesting. Child, I hope y'all talked about what y'all going to do to make these legal problems disappear over salmon or whatever y'all were eating, okay? So Erica said, I was just on top of the world. I was a New York Times bestseller. I was on Broadway. And then COVID shut me down. So Rinna is over at Lisa's house, okay? And she's like, I haven't talked to anyone, but I'm excited to see the other ladies. So they start talking about the fact that neither of them have spoken to Garcelle. And won't, okay? Because, baby, Kyle, you did a whole fool and accused this lady of something. And Rinna, honey, she saw your true colors. So she was like, I see your true colors shining through. Honey, she don't want nothing to do with it, okay? So Kyle said, I haven't talked to Garcelle and she unfollowed me on Instagram. Honey, that is a staple as a housewife. Once you delete, unfollow, and untag, honey, you've completely been X'd out of their life until the next season or of the reunion. We don't know. Either one. So anyway, she was like, yeah, she blocked me on Instagram. Well, you basically called her a liar and accused her of stiffing your charity. So, I'm not sure what you were expecting. Child, oh my gosh, Kyle, girl, get into it, honey. So then Kyle was like talking to the producers, right? Or talking to us out in TV land in her confessional. And she says, with all that's going on with COVID and everything, am I worried about an unfollow? Yes, I am. Well, listen, Kyle, at least you owned it, honey. At least you owned it. She's like, Lord, why did she unfollow me? Child, this social media is a mess. We go over to Garcelle's house, right? And her and Sutton are day drinking, child, with no particular place to go. And they said they're going to take the shots back because we're filming and we're not doing anything else. So she said, me and Sutton, we've gotten really close. And I like that friendship because I actually like Sutton. I know she's a little crass and I know she's a little straightforward. She's very definitive in her statements. And I like that about her. I guess because I'm a straight shooter as well. So, what I'm saying? I feel like, hey, don't cross Sutton because she's going to say exactly how she feels about it, okay? So, they were talking, and she said she talked to some of the girls, including Denise, because y'all know how they pushed her on out last season when they got together and ganged up on her about the whole situation with her and Brandy, who's not even a part of the show, coming on, dropping a bomb that the two of them were allegedly sleeping together, right? So Lisa was like, well, I texted her to meet up. Child, good luck, honey. That's all I'm gonna say to you about that. So then over here we see Erica Jane and Dorit. They come to Kyle's house, okay, because they're all gathering around to see the new nose, honey, and they ain't fooling me. So they come in. Mauricio makes an appearance with the drinks. Oh, Lord, Mauricio is a beautiful man, honey. I don't care if he's been under quarantine. I don't care if he's been under a rock. I don't care what it is. That is a beautiful man. Okay, Kyle, honey, you better be doing splits and all the other kind of stuff you be doing, honey, to keep a man like Mauricio. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so Dorit said, I'm going to have a barbecue and let's get glam and waste sauce all over our gowns, honey. What? Like what? But we all know what these ladies mean by barbecue, okay? I think what they think a barbecue is you eating outside. They probably go to restaurants and say, can we have the barbecue section? Ma'am, that's called the patio. That's our outside dining. Oh, yes, the barbecue. Girl, if you don't have sauce dripping down and you ain't licking your fingers and trying to figure out if you need pickles and onions or a slice of white bread, honey, then it's not a barbecue. I'm just saying, child, Dorit's so silly. But anywho, she's having a glam barbecue. They just want to dress up because they've been in COVID, they've been under quarantine, and LA had very strict protocols, and California, period. So, they want to get out, dress up, and, feel like something, okay? Over at Dorit's house, they show like a little snippet, and she's trying to get her kids together to go downstairs and have virtual learning. Honey, Jackson he don't want nothing to do with it, okay? He's like, I want you to carry me down. Just like his mama, honey. Anywho, Sutton is renting Kyle's Beverly Hills house. I know it was so surreal for Kyle to actually just walk through there and see all of her things out and all of Sutton's things in. I bet she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So anyway, Sutton was saying that she sold her house and the house that she bought needed some renovations. So she rented Kyle's house. And Kyle was like, I did give her a friends and family discount, only $20,000 a month. And this was the moment that I realized I was poor. Honey, I'm complaining about paying $2,500 a month. $20,000 a month? Oh, my goodness, honey. Anywho, child, let me gather myself and move on over. So Garcelle is on her way to meet Renna, okay? She's really not too excited about it because she was like, look, I don't really like her. I'm just going to be straight up. I don't really like her. I don't like how she treated Denise. She's untrustworthy. I'm going to go sit down, but honey, I cannot really be bothered. So Renna, as soon as she sits down, immediately starts lying, saying, I really care about you, Garcelle. Do you now? Do you? And then she says, I want to apologize. Hurt people hurt people. Lisa, cut the crap, child. This is all you could think of is hurt people hurt people. Anyway, you don't care nothing about Garcelle. You and Kyle just hate for people to be mad at y'all. That's just what it is. You do not want Garcelle to be upset with you. So you're just going to sit down and say whatever you think feels good and whatever sounds good, honey. But Garcelle ain't buying it, honey. She ain't buying nothing you selling. Okay. She was like, and I was just hurt. What were you hurt by? Okay, I understand you could potentially be hurt by your friend sitting there lying to your face, allegedly. If she is lying, we don't know, honey. We don't know if those texts were fabricated. We don't know anything. Only the two people involved actually know. But girl, you should not have been so involved that you got with all these ladies, knowing you and Denise had some type of friendship and ganged up on her until the point of pushing her out. And correction, child, his name is not Jackson, Dorit's son, it's Jagger. I'm so sorry, y'all, child. All the names and everything running together. So anyway, she said, I was so hard on Denise and I should have just stuck by my friend. I should have just stood by her. Garcelle looking at her like, okay, Renna, go ahead and speak your speech, child, because I already know you piping up and saying stuff you think I want to hear. So Garcelle said, Renna is trying to own it real quick so I don't come for her. Honey, I agree. It's one of them. Let me apologize real quick because I really don't want to hear the backlash. She's pulling a Ramona. Ramona likes to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't mean it. Okay, so somebody can just move on and leave her alone, honey. Garcelle is not stupid. So Garcelle said, well, why couldn't you just be there? Renna said, I just couldn't. But why is what she's asking. I couldn't is not an answer. Anyway, they started talking about the Denise and Brandy saga. So Renna said she was very protective of Denise. Protective? Girl, you're about as protective as a condom with a few holes in it, honey. You bound to get pregnant. Not you protective. Child, I'm not finna play with you, Renna. I'm not finna play with you, Lisa. Garcelle was like, girl, what? Protective? Really? She's like, listen, don't protect me. Anything I share with you, just don't protect me because, you're not really good at it. So then Renna says, I was really a see you next Tuesday. Garcelle said, I don't really like that word. I'm not going to just start saying that. She's like, no, but I was. I'm saying it about myself. Renna, you laying it on a bit thick, honey. This is not the soap operas, okay? You're saying something like this is about to be aired on ABC 13. Girl, go on somewhere, honey. So then Renna was like, I'm just saying it about myself. Garcelle said, well, I'm not going to disagree. Child, baby. Ooh, the girls is fighting already, honey. Get into it, honey. So Renna said, Let's just start over. Garcelle said, okay, I will tread lightly, but I'm open. You know what, Garcelle? That was real grown woman of you, because I would have looked at Renna like, no, ma'am, I'm good. But you know what? Renna, pay attention to her wording. She said she's very guarded, but she's open. Okay, she didn't just say, okay, we're good, girl. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you. You know how y'all like to do, brush things under the rug and then pretend like you're all good. Garcelle is not the one to do that. Over at Erica Jane's house, they're showing her overflow closet. And she's taking some of the things out and putting them in her other closet. Okay, I don't think you should be showing any of your closets. Actually, you should be filming at a hotel. Oh my goodness. So she said COVID taught her the world can change in an instant. Child, no truer words were spoken this season. So they're talking about Tom wanting to return to work. I'm trying to figure out, when was this filmed? Was this at the very beginning of COVID, or? Because I don't even remember them lifting restrictions. I'm just so confused, but okay. So Dorit goes to visit Garcelle. Then Garcelle shows her around the home, right? And the first stop is the fish tank. A fabulous one, honey. I've never seen a fish tank like that, honey, but I guess that's not in my tax bracket, okay? So she shows her the fish tank and she says, the black and white one is Dorit. Girl, you know you naming that everybody as soon as they walk in. The black and white one is Sutton. The black and white one is Erica Jane. Go on somewhere, Garcelle. I'm not going to play with you. And then she said, and the gold one, that's Kyle. Child, oh, not a goldfish, honey. You know they die every 5 minutes and you got to keep replacing them and whatnot. Oh, honey. So the producer said, why is Kyle a goldfish? She said, well, they're regular. Oh my goodness, honey. Baby, Garcelle is on their next child. Well, they are the most basic pet you can have, honey. So then we show Dorit. And we show her and Dorit going into her bedroom, right? And there's this little contraption. So Dorit walks over to it and she's like, this isn't for sex, is it? Well, it does look like it came from bedroom candy. I'm just saying, honey. Let me find out you hanging out with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Garcelle, honey, trying to migrate on down to the ATL. It looks like it was at that little bolo situation they had on up in the Carolinas. I'm just saying. No, I'm just playing with y'all. But seriously, she said it's for her back. She has lower back pain. And, her chiropractor, he said, hey, maybe you should get this thing and it will help with your lower back pain. I might need one of those because I have the most terrible posture. That's the first problem. And then I got an accident and my lower back always kills me. So I might need to get one of those things, honey. So anyway, Kyle and Renna are on their way to Crystal Minkoff's house. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about her. A few of her comments this episode had me like, oh, that's bitchy. It just seemed like catty for no reason. So, I'm not sure. The jury's still out, but we shall see. So they started talking about meeting with Garcelle or whatever. Garcelle said over at her house, she's sitting with Dorit, right? She's like, I don't fully trust Renna. Dorit said, I understand. I had the same problem at first, but then she changed her behavior. So I'm sure she'll change it with you. So Garcelle said, okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you trust her now? Yeah, just how I paused the same way Dorit did. So she said, yeah. Garcelle said, well, then why did you pause? Baby! Oh, my goodness. This is too much. Anyway, child, once Kyle and Renna got over to Crystal's house, right, we get introduced to her husband, who was like, he produced The Lion King and things like that. Really fabulous couple, okay? So Renna being shady all about her husband's age. Renna, see, this is why people don't like you. This is exactly why. Girl, stay in your lane, child. So then they go into like this study and she's showing them all things Lion King, right? So then Renna was like, usually people don't name drop, but I guess you could. This is Beverly Hills. And then she's like, people are constantly judging. Yes, you especially. Honey, you've been judging this lady since you walked in. Oh, you're tall. How old are you? Ooh, her husband's old. Oh, the Lion King. Oh, you're name dropping. Renna, reel it in, honey. And what happened? I thought you were doing new hair. Child, honey, that's what you need to be judging, this hairstyle you've been wearing since the 80s. Child, go ahead on. Anyway, they go outside to talk and Kyle tells her, I have a 31-year-old and people say I should try for the boy. And so Crystal was like, really? She's like, yeah. Kyle, you better not get pregnant, honey. I don't ever want to see that, okay? Enjoy your life. Your children are grown. And the last one, Portia, she's 12 years old. She's almost out of the house as well, honey. Don't go having no more kids, child. Wait on your grandkids. Over at Erica Jane's, she's getting all dolled up to go eat ribs and whatnot at Dorit's. And then we see Kyle. She's getting ready. And then we see Dorit. Okay, she's in her glam hair and makeup. So Dorit goes in to see her kids, right? Her son Jagger said, you don't look good. Looks like you're wearing a robe. And then her daughter said, why are you wearing that? Why are your boobs hanging out like that? Child, it be your own kids, okay? Those kids were like, Mom, that's a no, honey. To stand around the living room, that's a hell no. Child, they could not be bothered. The ladies show up, okay, and Rena shows up in J-Lo's 2000 Grammy dress in the form of a suit. Girl, don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Lisa from the block. Girl, gone somewhere, honey. I saw that. I said, Rena, what is going on, honey? You always get it wrong, but okay. Sutton shows up in her floral flapper dress. Okay. Crystal and Kathy are on their way to the glam barbecue. So Kathy was like, is there going to be food? And so Crystal said, well, they said it was a barbecue, but I just don't understand eating ribs in a dress. Child, me either, honey. But just wait till you get there. You're going to realize it's not actually a barbecue. Okay. And so Kathy was like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just hungry. So Crystal said, when they got inside, Crystal was like, I feel a little underdressed. Well, I don't think you were underdressed. You actually looked awesome. They just like to dress up because that's just what they like to do. So you should feel right at home, honey. You look okay. So then Garcelle shows up in this bright pink suit, right? And so Kathy hugs her and says, oh, I thought you were Kyle. Kathy, what in the cataracts are you talking about? You thought this was Kyle. She was like, I saw the hair and the mask and the pink suit. And I said, she's letting it all hang out. Kathy, did you also see the skin color? Girl, when have you known? Okay, child. Okay. Kathy, girl, what? Girl, you're going to be a problem, child. You're going to be a problem. You don't know your own sister. I am done. So then Dorit said, what were you looking at? She was like, I was looking at the mask and the hair and the suit. So Dorit said, are your eyes bad? So Kathy said, yeah, I have glasses and contacts, but I'm scared to wear them. Girl, you better put those on. Thinking that whole lady was your dang on sister. Dorit was like, you remember, it's her arch nemesis. She didn't say that, but I like to zhuzh it up, okay? The commentary wouldn't be the commentary without a little zhuzh behind it. Garcelle goes over to greet Crystal, and they're talking because they have friends in common. So then Crystal said, it's common to know people through other people in Beverly Hills, and if you don't know them, then they're probably not worth knowing. So then the shady producer said, do you know Dorit? She said, no. Baby. Woo. Then Kathy's actual sister shows up. Thankfully, she has Mauricio with her, honey, so Kathy can recognize her. So she speaks, and, the guys leave because they don't want nothing to do with these heifers and all this yelling. So they go over to get a little something to eat. I thought they were going to sit down because y'all know these ladies love heavy table talk. And then people were like, I thought this was a barbecue. Y'all know these ladies do not know what a barbecue means. It means a gathering with food on the outside. Anyway, so Rena starts giving a speech and sets the scene for the first trip of the season because y'all know it's always an introduction. And she invites the ladies to Lake Tahoe. Kathy tells them this weird story about, she's like, well, Kathy was like, should I bring my dental work and my scissors or something like that? And I'm like, what is happening? So then Kathy tells us in the confessional this weird story about her pretending to do dental work on her friends as a child. I think Kathy should have remained a mystery. I mean, to me, every time I saw Kathy Hilton, I thought so refined and so, so well off. She's a Hilton. But honey, once I heard her talk, I'm like, all right, child, back inside you go. So Kyle said, we went into hiding right after that. Oh my goodness. Garcelle is over talking to Sutton and she's like, I'm open. Sutton said, open? Girl, Lisa think y'all cool. Garcelle was like, well, we're not. And she's like, oh, no, ma'am. She's like, well, then you might need to go over here and tell Rena, honey, because Rena is telling the streets that y'all are back cool. And Garcelle was like, no, I don't think so, honey. So over on the other side, Rena is telling Dorit, or Dorit, as Kathy calls her. She called that lady Dorit, that everything is all good in the hood, okay? So Rena said, I wanted to know your peaks and valleys during COVID. So they all share their stories. So Erica Jane said, mine was very dark. I would walk around the house with this incredible dread and I just hated even waking up. She said, so I called a therapist and I got on some Lexapro. And they were like, what is that? And she's like, an antidepressant. And it has really helped me look at things in a different way. Now, I feel like COVID also helped Erica Jane become more expressive because Erica is like a vault. You're not getting nothing out of her. And if you get a tear, she gonna be mad because you made her cry a tear. So I was just shocked that she was sharing like that, honey. But it truly shows you that no matter how many material things you have, you can still be unhappy and lonely. It's people in 10,000 square foot homes not being able to stand their own company. But then it's people in a 300 square foot apartment that couldn't be happier, honey. So it's all about the way you feel about your situation yourself. Because, honey, all that glitters is not gold. I'm just saying. So then Rena says, much like Garcelle. Child, Garcelle was thinking, honey, don't say my name. Child. Rena wants to be good again so bad. She said, much like Garcelle, they survived by their businesses, but now, I had to sit in silence. I had to sit with myself. Girl, you had to sit and create that speech that you gave Garcelle at that restaurant. That's what you sat there and did, okay? So then Erica Jane said, the ladies don't really know my true struggles. This is in her confessional. And she said, everyone has problems, and the bigger your life is, the bigger your problems are. Girl, oh my goodness. So then Kathy said, did any of you realize who you can live without and who you need to weed out? So Erica Jane said, well, I already did that. It's down to my husband and the dog. And child, not a husband gone, child. So I guess it's just down to the dog. Or did y'all sell that too? Honey, I am so confused, child. And that was the end of episode 1 for this season, child. It is going to be good. I feel like it's going to be juicy. It's going to give what needs to be given. Garcelle, honey, your looks in the confessional weren't looking. I didn't like those looks, honey. I didn't like those. Especially that black one. It was really weird and it had it wasn't doing what was supposed to be done. I can't really remember the other ones, Kyle. The only thing I can remember about you is you had these Herman the Monster boots on when you went to visit Crystal for the first time, honey. I'm going to blame it on COVID, okay? But y'all, I am so excited about this season. Y'all drop down in the comments below if you happen to catch the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in their premiere episode. I'm a little bit on the fence, like I said, about Crystal. But I think once she warms up to the ladies, she'll be given what needs to be gave. All right, y'all, comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.